boy from Hollis Ave, Wayne Rawlins, who's right here in the building with us, man. Wayne, thanks again for hanging out with us. What'd you think when you saw that, man?
Oh man, brought back memories, man. I'm telling you.
we were talking about on the break foster kids and you know the struggle that they go through, and how in Islam that the orphan and the child who doesn't have is exalted, but it's not really the case now. And right now, do you see in your work an overabundant number of young people that were foster kids in the foster care system that end up in gangs, that end up in prison? Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. When I first started working at TGK,
right,
there were two 14-year-old, I think one was 14, I think one was 15, brothers, both in the foster care system. And both of them said to me, I'd rather be on the street homeless than stay in foster care. And you know, it was horrific for them. Yeah. And both of them wound up getting 30 years because they were direct file children. So you know, they were convicted, and both of them got 30 years in prison. So you know, it's tough. You know, once you get institutionalized, you know, the child gets put on Ritalin and all these kind of drugs when they in elementary school. Then they you know, go through the juvenile system. Then they go through the foster care system. Then they go, you know, into the prison system. And it's a pipeline. You know, and you know, it's unfortunate, but we have to develop strategies to you know, reverse that. And like I said, it starts with yourself. You know, develop your own strategy, your own plan, and your own vision for yourself. You know, don't blame anybody else, you know, for anything. Go ahead and take what you can do, take charge of your life, and make a difference.
Let's talk about the Prison Reentry Guide. The Prison Reentry Guide, which is really the yellow pages of resources for those that are coming up out of the prison system. Can you download it? Where can you get the Prison Reentry Guide from?
Yeah, it's available at WayneRawlins.com, and then also if you shoot me an email, you can get it for free. We'll mail it to you, as many as you want. It's very comprehensive. The 2014 version of the guide has got checklists for what to do when you're incarcerated and how to prepare for your release, what to do when you first get out, you know, the benefits of hiring a returning citizen. So when you're in front of an employer, you can talk about the free bonding, and you can talk about the tax credit, you know, and the other things that are beneficial for hiring somebody that has been incarcerated. And then also job interviewing tips. And job interviewing has changed a lot, you know, now with Facebook and Twitter. The employers now check your Facebook page. It's a real person, really. You know? So, you know, there's a lot of things in this guide that'll help you, you know, in terms of resources, in terms of guidance, and help you to develop a strategy for yourself.
Okay, now you got the Anti-Gang Summit, which is the 5th annual or 6th annual?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a speaker. I'm not the organizer of that, but I'm a speaker on that.
Okay.
That event.
Now, what about the gang task force? It's not the proper term that you're over in Miami-Dade County, right? What is that?
Yeah, basically it's a four-pronged strategy. It's prevention, intervention, suppression, and reentry. Okay. So we're in the schools, we're in the prisons, we're in the detention centers, we're in the jails, we're on the street, we're in the back alleys, we're everywhere. You know, from those four strategy elements. Okay, all right, and then
and needless to, we got to talk about Sharia law. As it relates to 2064, and let's talk about what Sharia law is and what it is not, because you know I don't recall his name, but the journalist that was beheaded last week, it was an outcry. President Obama came out and spoke about it. ISIS declared that, you know, we want war with America and we want to impose Sharia law on the world. Talk a little bit about Sharia law as it relates to your book, 2064, Grassroots Organization, and what it really is from an Islamic perspective.
Well, that's a very complex question.
I know it is. We'll be right back in the hour.
Okay, well, basically, Sharia law is the laws and the commandments of the Almighty. You know, so Allah makes laws, a man makes law, and man makes laws. Man's laws are flawed, Allah's laws are perfect. I mean, it's just as simple as that. But there's no compulsion in Islam. You know, if you're Christian, I cannot say, I'm going to chop off your head unless you become Muslim.
Yeah.
This is not the proper perspective of it. But we see how man's laws in the United States has led to a lot of decadences. For example, we're free to gamble. We're free to have sex outside of marriage. We're free to drink and sell alcohol. All these things are bringing down the morality of Americans. And the Sharia does not allow for none of that. And there's stiff penalties for that type of thing. If you know, for example, that you have sex outside of marriage, you married, and you come home and your wife is in bed with somebody else, the state now has a responsibility to enforcing the law. Now, in the case of for example, fornication or adultery, Sharia law is such that you have to have 4 eyewitnesses, and they have to see actual penetration in order for that person to be convicted, unless they admit that they have fornicated or committed adultery. So it's not just, okay, we're just going to stone you to death and that's it. But Sharia law is not different than the laws that are in the Gospel of Jesus and in the Torah. So it's not, these laws, Allah's, you will see no change in Allah's laws. So what he said in the Torah and what he said in the Gospel of Jesus and what he said in the Quran, same. But it's man that's now changed the laws because we got to satisfy our desire. We got this desire for drinking alcohol. We got desire for gambling. We got desire for sex. All these things are against what Allah says is commanded for the human being.
Okay. You know what? That is a complex question. So much more to go into. We talked about the gang initiative. We talked about the prison reentry. We definitely talked about America 2064, which is available, Amazon.com, right? Any other ways? How else can they get this beautiful book right here? Yeah,
I'm at the Miami Gardens Islamic Center, almost on a daily basis from 6:30. You can come meet the author live. You can get a copy of the book
on 47th Avenue and
right in Miami Gardens.
Right.
Or you can get it at halaljj.com, our website. So it's available.
Brother Wayne, I know that I'm opening up a can of worms with this one, but I know that there's got to be people that are thinking about this right now, because what you just broke down with Sharia law and not drinking, etc. There's folks that are watching right now that are like, well, hell, most of the liquor that's sold in my neighborhood is Muslims from other places that are setting up shop, and that's a real serious issue as Muslims that it has to be addressed. And as you talk and you develop, because that's who we talking to in our community, how do you balance some of the, I guess, the hypocrisy that the average person who doesn't understand Islam, but the only Muslim they know is where they buy their Arab from, their shirt, and when they watch it, how can they balance that out? The religion and those who they associate with the religion, and even now them trying to decipher what direction they can go in.
Sure. You have the Quran, you have Islam, and you have Muslims.
Okay.
You have the Gospel of Jesus and you have Christians.
Right.
You have the Torah and you have Jews.
Yeah.
And the two are not the same.
Yes.
We fall short. And, it's despicable. What I see, my Muslim brothers, that Allah bless them with Shahada on their tongue, faith on their tongue, and they're going to go into Liberty City or all over America, the most challenged areas, sell pork, sell wine, sell lottery tickets, trade sex for diapers, swipe the food stamp card for 50 cents on a dollar. I despise it. And, I'll do everything I can with whatever power I may have, to eradicate that and try and encourage these brothers. Don't do it.
Yes, sir. Amen. Will you come back?
Sure, anytime.
Because we want to keep you. We want to keep you as long as we can, and inshallah, which means God willing in Arabic, we'll have our brother to come back. And we got Carvin Hagens coming up on the other side. We had Willis Howard earlier, and WayneRawlins.com, WayneRawlins.com. You can log on. You can see the book. You can download the Prison Reentry Task Force. You can send the brother an email, because strategy and mobilization is so critical right now. You got thousands of young people that are watching. You got folks that want to do something, but they don't know how to. When's that book coming out? When's that book coming out?
It's in America 2064.
Is it?
Yeah, the last chapter just deals with strategy development. So taking you from the vision all the way to how to evaluate your strategy, the whole 9 yards. It's in there.
Nice. Well, that's a perfect reason to go cop the book, America 2064. So, look, man, we got so much more that we could touch on. I thank you so much, dear brother, for coming here. Inshallah, we'll see you again really soon. Jess, you got something special for our brother to go out. You have anything you want to share with folks, man, before we head out of here, brother?
Well, may Allah guide you, and for all the Muslims brothers out there, that they may be incarcerated or not incarcerated, hold on to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maintain your faith, make your 5 daily prayers. Allah bless you to have life. He bless you to have life as a human being. He bless you after the complete revelation of the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But hold on tight, hold on fast. There's hope, and inshallah we'll meet in Jannah. Ameen.
Alhamdulillah. Yo, we going to this twister, man. We'll be right back.
Wish I could teach a soul to fly. Take away the pain out your hands and help you hold them high. And I